Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? Within my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine, I've applied the use of different forms and conventions that I had discovered are present within pre-existing pop music magazines. I had conducted text analysis of in order to further conventionalize my pop music magazine as much as possible in order to attract my target demographic towards my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine. Within the front cover of my magazine, I decided to implement the use of conventions within my masthead, which helped to conventionalize my magazine. When analysing pre-existing pop music magazines, it was clearly noticeable that all of them presented the use of bold and simplistic sans serif mastheads, a convention which I have implemented into my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine. The masthead has been presented to the readers using bright or contrasting colours. This is done in order to show off the masthead and draw the reader into the magazine through the use of the bright and attractive colours. In addition, the bright colour scheme is used to first establish the house style of the magazine, which is representative of the target demographic of the magazine. I was able to establish that these particular scripts were the mastheads, as they were the biggest typographical font present within the pop music magazine front covers. The typographical size of the masthead is used to connote the masthead's importance to the readers of the magazine. I had decided to implement these conventional aspects within the masthead of my own #Pop Party Pop Music magazine in order to conventionalize my music magazine with other pre-existing publications, such as We Love Pop, which uses salmon pink and white, and Top of the Pops, which uses pink and white. Within my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine, the masthead of my pop magazine, #Pop Party, was presented within the top left corner of my pop magazine. I had provided the use of bold and powerful fonts, which remain the biggest typographical font within my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine front cover in order to connote its importance to my target demographic, and that it is something that they should take notice of. In addition, in order to further conventionalize my magazine with that of other pop music magazines and to attract my target demographic towards my pop music magazine, I have provided the use of a bright and contrasting white background home to the orange, yellow and black colours present within the page in order to attract the attention of my readers and draw them into the masthead of my magazine. The bright colours also presents a contrast between the background and the #Pop Party title of my magazine in order to further present its importance to my readers. In addition, the bright colours in my front cover help to connote my target demographic, as we commonly associate the bright and exciting and sunny colours which are used with teenage girls. This connotes that the target demographic for the majority of the magazines that I analysed, and my own, is to a younger, more feminine demographic. In order to conventionalise my contents page with other contents pages from pre-existing pop music magazines like We Love Pop and Top of the Pops, I decided to act on the target demographic of my #Pop Party Pop Music magazine. The fact that my target demographic is teenage girls is important, as conventionally within other pre-existing pop music magazines I have discovered that in order to keep their readers entertained, they have to constantly draw them into the page through the use of lots of images, and this appeals to the target demographic of the magazine, as being 13 to 16-year-olds, the readers of the magazine would prefer to look at more images rather than read through paragraphs of text. And with many images present within the front cover and contents page, it makes a bigger impact on the magazine's reader by using a multitude of images to appeal to them and draw them into the magazine. For example, within the bottom left-hand corner, I have included a low-angle medium close-up photograph of Mirage performing live on stage. This adds a form of vibrancy and freshness to my magazine. In addition, present within the magazine images on the contents page are the page numbers which the images relate to in the magazine. This is appealing to readers as it enables them to navigate easily through the magazine. This appeals to the reader as if they see an image they like from a feature they're interested in. They can read which page it's on and then immediately turn to it and read the articles that interest them. In addition, The page numbers are often presented in a colour different to that of the image, making them stand out to the reader and drawing their attention further to it. Within my pop music magazine, I had included the use of many images. This appeals to my readers as it keeps them interested in my magazine. In addition, I provided the use of different captions on the images of some of the cover lines present within my #PopParty contents page, such as "One-timers get back together for a reunion performance at the place that started it all." This was done as it further reinforces their importance to my magazine's reader and connotes to them that they should read that specific feature relating to the image, as it may be important or interesting. Within the images present within my pop music magazine contents page, I've promoted the use of page numbers. These page numbers are an example of how I've conventionalized my pop music magazine to the other pop music magazines that I have conducted text analysis of, that all of them use it in order to help their readers easily navigate their way through their publication. Moving on to my double page spread, I had discovered whilst conducting detection analysis of pre-existing pop music magazines with the same target demographic of my pop magazine that they had often published features of pop concerts or pop festivals which had taken place recently. They had presented the artists performing within the concert or festival and the venue with some article text and photographic images. This was due to the fact that teenagers and young people are the ones who go to festivals and pop concerts in order to hear their favourite pop artists perform. I had thought this was an exciting concept and that it would provide me with a lot I could talk about, such as the artists' performances, the venue, and the atmosphere of the festival or concert. I had decided to promote this concept within the feature of my Pop Party pop music magazine double page spread in order to conventionalize my double page spread feature with that of other pop music magazines that have done a similar feature to me. I had provided the use of images presenting the artists that had performed at the Tea in the Park festival, along with the feature shot of the location of the festival itself. This appeals to the readers of my #Pop Party pop music magazine, as they are able to see who and what I'm talking about when they read the article text of my double page spread feature. In addition, the fact that I have included similar aspects within my double page spread feature helps to further reinforce conventionality of my magazine, as if the readers of my #Pop Party pop music magazine see the double page spread feature is similar to pre-existing pop music magazines, they would be more comfortable reading it. In addition, within all 3 pages of my #Pop Party pop music magazine, I have prominently presented the bold and bright colours yellow, orange, white in order to further conventionalise my pop music magazine with that of other pre-existing pop music magazines that I have conducted text analysis of. This is done by continually establishing these 3 colours within the pages of my #Pop Party pop music magazine in the form of my house style colour scheme. As well as using the forms and conventions within the production of my #Pop Party pop music magazine, I also developed the forms and conventions within the pages of my magazine in order to add little twists and differences which appeal to my readers and attract them to my #Pop Party pop music magazine. An example of this can be seen within my #Pop Party pop music magazine front cover. Conventionally, within pre-existing pop music magazines, the masthead is conventionally the biggest typographical font on the page and is presented to the readers in a big, bold and simplistic sans serif typographical font. This masthead is commonly presented within the top left-hand corner of the page, as it would be conventionally the first thing that readers of the magazine would see. I have followed through with these conventions and presented my big, bold, simplistic sans serif masthead within the top left-hand corner of my magazine. However, I decided to establish my own personal style within the formatting and the presentation of the masthead when presenting it to my target demographic. I connoted to my readers a quirky nature within the masthead through its slanted formation of the masthead within the magazine front cover. This would appeal to my target demographic as they are teenagers, and it makes the magazine seem a little less formal to the readers. Next, I had developed conventions within the contents page of my magazine by presenting to the reader the same content that would have been expected to be seen within the pop music magazine contents pages of other magazines. However, in order to develop the conventional aspect, I have laid out the content featured within my #PopParty pop music magazine contents page in a more formal manner, due to the fact that my information is set out in a rigid form presented to my readers within columns. This is something that would appeal to my readers, as it makes the features present within my #PopParty pop music magazine contents page easier for them to see and read. Finally, within my #PopParty pop music magazine double page spread, I've developed the way that images are conventionally presented within the double page spread feature. Within pre-existing pop music magazines double page spreads, I had noticed that the images were posted within the feature over 2 pages. However, within my double page spread, one of the main images featured within the double page spread is presented along the length of the spine of the magazine in order to fill more of the page and present the importance of the images with the feature to the viewer. This is something that is not done within pre-existing pop music magazines I had previously analysed, and so shows that although I have stuck to conventions when placing images within my #PopParty pop music magazine double page spread, I have developed them by placing them within spaces that are not typically conventional. Although I wanted to make my #PopParty pop music magazine as conventional as possible in order to attract my target demographic to my pop magazine, there were some aspects present within my own magazine which defied conventions in order to benefit my magazine or make it further stand out to my readers among other pop music magazines. Firstly, presented within the front cover of other pre-existing pop music magazines, the page is often completely filled or can consider to be cluttered with images and textual quotes or lines to draw the readers into the magazine. This is not the case with my magazine. Within my magazine, I've tried to use the space within the page, but not having been able to completely fill it. The front cover of my magazine clearly presents the main features you would expect to see on a front cover of a magazine, such as the masthead, the cover lines, images, and main cover line. I also added additional advertisements, but the rest of the magazine is left unoccupied, which is not seen within pre-existing pop music magazines, which I have analysed, and thus challenges conventions. In addition, within the pre-existing contents pages of pop music magazines that I have analysed, it was common to see that overall, not many features within the magazine were published onto the contents page of the magazine. Instead, many images that were present within the magazine contents page in order to keep the reader interested in the magazine. This was something I challenged within my magazine. I had provided the use of several images whilst presenting many features, like stories which relate to celebs, articles in the magazine this month, and up for grabs competitions that were present within my #PopParty pop music magazine. This challenge of conventions is something that would be appealing to my target demographic, as they are made more aware of the things in store for them within my #PopParty pop music magazine, as well as being able to look at images from features that are within the pop magazine. Within my #PopParty pop music magazine double page spread, I have challenged the conventional form of the pre-existing pop music double page spreads that I have analysed. Within pre-existing pop music magazines, many images of the artists and the setting for the concerts are present to the reader with short paragraphs of text. However, within my pop music magazine double page spread, I have presented multiple images of the artists which performed and the location of the festival, which relate to the feature of my double page spread, with a larger amount of text than would be considered to be conventional of other pre-existing pop music magazines. Regarding my magazine, this could be a disadvantage when considering my target demographic, as teenagers wouldn't want to read through masses of text within a magazine unless it's really interesting or appealing to them. This is something I've tried to do in order to compensate for that.